Hey guys, welcome to TOMKAT Talk. In today's episode, I talk with BMX rider and musician extraordinaire, Adam Banton. Adam reached out to me a few years ago to buy a guitar pedal, and naturally I freaked out because he's one of my favorite BMX riders of all time. And it turns out we have some stuff in common. So, if you want to hear us talk about BMX trends, nutrition, and growing your own hemp, stay tuned. You're Adam Banton, the famous Adam Banton. Professional bicycler, because you don't just ride BMX, right?
No, that is correct. I ride more than just BMX.
Okay,
Mountain
and
bikes, mountain bikes
you're
too.
also a musician,
Yep, yep.
and those are two probably of my favorite things in the world is bicycles and music stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm, I'm which obviously brought us together.
Yeah,
Which is pretty cool because there aren't many. It'll go through waves through the years for me, but there aren't many of us out there. I feel like so. I'm always like geek out and like definitely get drawn to people, no matter where they are, other countries or whatever, like that have the same two strong interests. So it's pretty
yeah,
cool when you connect with people like that.
yeah. It's pretty cool. I never thought that I would meet you through guitar pedals.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
I
was I was on I was on such a deep search of trying to find a fuzz pedal and uh, I guess technically I was after germanium
yeah.
resistor. Like I kind of like lost interest in it because I got like, I don't know, it's a long story that we don't have to go into, but yeah, through
Basically,
pedals.
you were looking for some mojo, I guess, is what you would say.
So looking through some mojo, had a good experience with I don't know if it was I think it was like the silicone resistor transistor one, but it was like was a red. Is there a red witch out there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They
So I
make
had a
some
good
cool stuff.
experience. I had a good experience with that in France that my buddy had on the last record that I did, and he was a huge part of it, and it was his pedal, and we used that. And then and I got into pedals pretty late. Like it wasn't until like 5 years ago where I stepped into the pedal world and
Right, 'cause
stuff.
you were playing mostly like acoustic and stuff
Yeah,
through some
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. A lot of acoustic stuff. And I would plug in, but I wasn't. What was it? I was just playing clean through amps and stuff,
Yeah.
through looper and stuff, and um, I don't even think I had like even a delay pedal or anything until like 5 years ago, really.
Yeah. That's
And
pretty cool because
yeah,
it kind of like opens up a new sort of world of the world that you're already in.
oh my gosh, like so much. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So I mean there's a cool picture of you riding with I think you have a Strat on your back.
yeah,
Ha,
blue.
have you
Yep.
played much electric?
Yeah, I've always played electric. Actually, that um, photo, I know what you're talking about. It was a leftover photo through this unique experience that I had with Fender guitars for a good amount of years, and but that it was leftover photo from photo shoot, but that Strat actually my parents bought me when I was 21. They bought it used from a family friend,
Oh,
and
cool.
and it's funny that I ended up like bringing that to a Fender photo shoot. That so. But I'd always played Fenders, really.
Okay.
My like for having like a first real guitar. Like I had like I don't even know my first guitar was like a guitar that somebody gave my dad at work, and he asked if I wanted a free guitar, and it
Yeah,
was electric.
that's
So
how I got my my first drum set was my dad had a friend at work who had like an old kit from when he was youthful, and he just gave it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been
But
vintage.
it was, yeah. Like
Vintage
looking
stuff.
back on it, it was like a really old Ludwig kit. It was really nice from like the early '60s.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and I didn't, really appreciate that at the time because I was like
Sure.
14, and I
Yeah.
just like totally destroyed and beat the shit out of it. But looking back on it, I wish I still had that drum set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have my first guitar. Really. I mean, it'd be cool to have, but it sucked so bad. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
the
more of just
action,
like it's become
it
just a
was
tchotchke
ridiculous.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, but yeah, so I've always had actually, electric guitars, and I think I got an acoustic probably a couple years after I started playing.
Okay.
So, um, and ironically, that was a Fender acoustic as well. I think my parents, it was a Christmas present. So I kind of guided them,
Yeah.
like what guitar I wanted or whatever, but it was still kind of a surprise. So, and that guitar got stolen. I learned the hard way to not check a guitar when you fly.
Oh, okay.
So, American Airlines employee or TSA, somebody decided they wanted that guitar. I
Oh
got the
man.
case. I got the case, and it showed up empty. So,
No way. So you're at like
yeah.
the baggage claim,
No, it was
the case comes along and it's just empty?
my luggage got lost,
Okay.
and it shows up like 2 days later after I go through, the claim thing of everything
Yeah.
after I landed and stuff, and realized my bags weren't coming out, and they delivered it at my address 2 days later with my bags and stuff and a guitar case, and I lifted it up, and it was like extremely light, and
Oh no.
I was like no,
Oh man.
and it was empty, but
Damn. That
so
sucks
yeah,
because you kind of
lesson.
had like a glimmer of hope that it was back, but it
Yeah,
was empty.
yeah, I mean, what was I thinking checking a guitar? Like I lived like clueless, like this was, I mean, this was, geez, this was a while ago. So I did it again though, but that one came out good. That was a Jaguar I checked,
Oh,
which is
okay.
stupid, so
That's
stupid of me, like so dumb. Hard, like nice hard case,
yeah.
reissue, but like still like all time one of my favorite guitars, and checked it and realized after that trip, I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I like started to realize like you don't check, instruments really
Yeah.
that you care about.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you do much traveling? Because I know you did a lot of props stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Road Fools.
yep.
Did you travel with music too, or just mostly BMX, or both?
I mean, through it was mostly just BMX, and I had like the main thing I think where like a lot of the exposure stuff got documented and filmed, and yesterday I was on the phone. My buddy Steve, he was in he owns a shoe company called SEG, who I started riding for recently, and their factories in South America, and he just got back from a trip, and they were at a bar or something, and he was like, he said it was like super late, like he said 3 a.m. I don't know if bars stay open later or whatever down there, but Road Fools was playing at the bar, and
Oh, cool.
it was the rock and roll Road Fools, which
Yeah.
is I think what you're talking about probably,
Yep.
where Fender was the main sponsor for that,
Yeah.
and that time I was sponsored by them, and as well as other amazing riders as well, and they had like three bands that toured, and then any athlete that they were supporting had the opportunity to play if they wanted to as well. And but we were, mainly brought on as riders. But so I was kind of like, can't say like I was like totally gun ho about playing in front of people at every stop, on top of riding, because it was,
Yeah.
I don't have any experience at playing out or playing live. And um, so I through BMX really and Fender in those opportunities, I was just like had these chances to like play at weird events, which were usually skate parks or um, maybe like a art opening, like an art show or photo
Yeah.
show or something, But it was all through like BMX family and everything, and but yeah, Rock and Roll World Fools was really like the first like one where every stop got to play. Bruce Chrisman, since a lot of my stuff was like just really simple, like 2-track instrumental stuff,
Yeah.
and I wasn't like super savvy with a looper at that time to be playing live and everything. Even though I think I did do a couple songs, and I'm sure they were like out of time or something horrible, but I asked Bruce Chrisman if he wanted to play some of my songs, and so he like the first couple nights we would just practice in the hotel room, and
Oh,
he
cool.
learned just kind of like the chords and stuff, and then I would play over top of that of my songs, and he played some stuff of his own as well. So, but yeah, that was like looking back at that was like so much has changed, and it was just like such a crazy opportunity to do it. I'm really glad that I did it, but
Yeah,
man,
totally.
I was so nervous every single stop.
Yeah. But you
It
don't
was
seem to be nervous about riding though.
no, uh, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I like I feel like, especially with acoustic stuff, like you're when you're playing like an acoustic set and like no effects pedals and stuff, like
Yeah.
people are gonna hear your mistakes,
Everything.
like everything,
Yeah.
So, and that happened to be like what I played, uh, up until 5 years ago. Mostly was just all acoustic and stuff. So, and then having not having as much confidence in my playing as well, and experience and all that. But for some, I mean, I've been playing guitar as much as I've been riding BMX, really riding bikes. So um, I don't know why I feel like I've done for BMX and riding and stuff. I've done like so many weird shows and demos and all sorts of stuff that
Yeah.
I've been nervous at. But like, I guess it's just with music. Like if you play different venues and stuff, you, I would imagine, get comfortable and confident at playing in front of people, I guess,
Yeah.
so that's like, it's how I was with BMX, and I don't know. Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah, I was in a band for a while, and we were lucky. We got to tour in Europe a lot,
Oh,
and
cool.
a lot of the things that we would play in the summer were a lot of festivals, and a bunch of them were like extreme sports and music.
Cool.
And I would always go and be like, "Oh man, I wish I could just like had my BMX and could ride,
Yeah.
and play the show as well." But then when I would get there and I would see the ability and the skill level of the BMX dudes, I'd be like, "Nah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You guys are like backflipping off flat ground. Like I can't do that."
Yeah, but I'm sure every rider there would be stoked to see somebody from a band that's
Yeah, from
playing at the festival to
yeah,
have to know another rider, and like, oh, man, that's awesome, like you're playing the festival, like come ride with us,
yeah.
you know.
Well, the next time I have the opportunity to do so, I will not take any clothes. I'll just pack my BMX.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's funny that you mentioned that because I was on this weird road trip with a group of guys, and we were in Boise, Idaho, and this was like 2001 maybe or something, you know. And Boise had like this. I think it's actually where the new Boise. They have a new skate park there, like a legit one, but I think it's where the old same location. It's like under this bridge, and I was there by myself. It was in the morning. It was freezing. I heard there was a skate park, so I sniffed it out and found the skate park and was riding. And there were a couple other guys skating there, and I saw one dude riding. He had like a jacket on, like a thick winter jacket. He had this big black beard, and we finally like after riding past each other or whatever, we finally like stopped and said, "What's up?" You know, and started chatting and everything, and realized that he was from out of town too. He's from Sacramento, California, and I think Sacramento, yeah. And we started chatting and stuff, and he's like, well, if you're since you're staying the night, you know, he's like, my band's playing tonight, like I can put you on the guest list, you know.
Yeah.
If you and your friends want to come check it out. I'm like, sure, cool, man. He's like, what's the name of your band? And he's like, the Deftones. And I was like, did like a legit double take. It was like the time, I think, like, is it Adrenaline? That I don't know
Okay.
if you're familiar with Deftones
Yeah.
or
Oh
whatever,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was like, it was like they were, I think, touring to back that record. But so yeah, Stefan, the guitar player,
Oh no way.
just random, yeah, just random, like, was there on his BMX bike, and he put me on the guest list, and I went and saw them that night, and it was rad. And then after the show, like, went back to the bus and thanked them and stuff, and um, super cool guy. And yeah, he and I ran into him a couple times through the next couple years after that, like one time at Changa World in Ohio when Changa was still going on. If you're familiar or remember Changa at all, but
I don't. What was Chenga?
Changa was like skate park outside of
Oh,
Cleveland,
okay.
Ohio. It had a really good long run, like a lot of props footage from there, FBM contests, and you know, like early 2000s type stuff. And but yeah, so ran into stuff in a couple times since then and kind of kept in touch. And but yeah, anyway, so yeah, so there's other guys. There are people that, you know, like take their BMX bike on tour and stuff. And it's pretty cool to run into people like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, from my experience of touring, especially the U.S., it would help tremendously to bring a BMX with you, just to like zone out and get away from stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, that was like my primary reason for having a bike, was just to get the hell away from like my house and stuff, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's cool. How long did you ride BMX for, or like when did you? I mean, when did you get your, like, were you playing? Were you riding BMX before you got drums, like that drum set?
I started riding my bike probably when I was like 5. And then
Okay.
I got into drums when I was like 12. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just loved the fact that I could get out of my house and just ride in the woods and just like literally like be alone, I guess. I was an introvert when I was a kid. So I liked just exploring on my own in the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
You said you were from the East Coast?
Yeah, Virginia, Northern
Oh,
Virginia.
okay.
Yep. Grew up
So I'm
there.
sure I'm sure you can relate to the same sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I mean, same thing. Like, you know, I had like I don't know, just some Team Murray, some crappy BMX, you know, with mags and everything. And I grew up like out in the country, like no sidewalks, like,
Yeah.
you know, like we had to drive into the city to like go trick or treating and stuff, you know, like, so
Yeah.
I was just like, I would just like do, you know, do skids and,
Of course.
you know, all that stuff. I'd like try
Yeah.
to ride my bike down like streams, like through streams and stuff. And then like I would like ride in circles listening to the radio with my sister in the garage, just in circles. 2-car garage. We would just like do
Yeah.
laps. Like I don't
Yeah,
even know what we were thinking. We were like must
I
have
can
been.
relate to that where you open like my garage growing up was like 2 doors and then it had like a center post
Yeah.
separating the 2 doors, and I would just ride around that. And I think in my head I was thinking like, this is some crazy cool race. You know, this is the track. I'm just gonna do this for an hour.
Yeah. 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 I
Yeah.
mean, that's that with like, you know, like throw some boredom in there
Yeah, totally.
and next thing you know, you're doing like 500 circles, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, my
So,
first bike was it was also a hand-me-down gift from I think one of my old cousins. Um it was a Kuwahara.
oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
chrome with
That's
blue and
awesome.
gold chrome hardware.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I had it up until I think like 10 years ago. I still had it.
Dude,
Yeah. It was,
Kuwaharas are pretty sweet.
it was
Like,
sweet because I was a little, well, I'm still a little person, but when I was a kid, I was tiny. And
mhm.
like because eventually you're riding around, you know, in the woods and stuff, you eventually find other kids that are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then those kids know where like the really serious jumps are and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you go there and then, you know, you try and go off the jump. And my experience was I was always like, all right, this is the first time I'm hitting this jump. I have to pedal as hard as I can, as fast as I can, you know?
Yeah.
And I would always launch off and like overshoot the landing by like
Yeah.
20 feet because my bike was so light. The Kuwahara was so
Yeah.
light, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all of my friends were always jealous. They're like, how come you can go like 50 feet of air and you know, like I'm a better biker than you and I can only get like 2 feet of air. And I'm like, it's the Kuwahara.
Yeah. Kuwahara, light
Yeah.
bike,
Yeah.
and being nervous and just overcompensating and just freaking
Yeah.
pedaling. That's a pretty typical reaction, I think, to
I mean,
anybody.
it would be so much safer though to just undershoot and like, you know, bail.
Kind of, but things can get pretty messy if you're gonna like. I mean, if you totally jump off your bike, yeah, and then
Yeah.
tuck and roll and hope you're not gonna.
Yeah, see here, that's the
I don't
other
know.
half of it is that I'm really bad at bailing. I just sort of like will be in the air and realize like something's wrong and I'll just freeze and kind of like, you know?
Go down with the ship.
Yeah, and just eat complete shit.
Yeah. There's an art to falling, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Experience of knowing. Sometimes going down with the ship, just staying on like that is actually better. And then sometimes you can get out of a total death trap and just jumping over the bars and like run out of it somehow, and
Yeah.
you're like amazed that you're still standing, you know.
Yeah. I think the last time that happened to me was so I lived in New York City for a long time, up until recently. But I used to ride street, but it was like my version of street. And I think it's why I like your style of riding so much is because it's more
Thank you.
like simple but really intricate tricks,
Yeah.
you know? Or like a pedal grind or like just like a silly manual into like something else, you know? And I was trying to go from like, there was like a ledge and then a gap and then the other half of the ledge. And I was trying to do like manual to nose manual. And I misjudged my transition to nose manual and I just like ate
Oh
my
yeah.
forks into the ledge, and yeah, it was just like face into concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the timing thing like that, you know, when if you're like doing like manual to nosy something in casing front wheel, you have like almost no time to react, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're going at least mediocre speed, you're probably gonna fall on your chest, you
Yeah.
know.
It's the thing where like there's that fine line of speed where like you can either, kind of throw the bike away and like
Yeah.
catch yourself with your hands, or if you're going too fast, it's just like ankles on your head, you know?
Yeah.
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 And
Not good.
the funny part for me about riding in New York was that since I'm pretty introverted with my riding, like I would hate when if other people saw or like
Yeah.
cars driving by see you eat shit, I'm just like, so embarrassed.
I imagine like that happening in New York City. People just like honk the horn and try to maybe draw attention to the person on the ground, like who just fell on a bike.
Yeah,
You know?
unfortunately, no, if anything, they would just yell like, "You should have timed your transition better, bro." You know? Because like one time I was riding um, in Williamsburg, there's this main street in Brooklyn called Bedford Avenue, and it goes pretty much the whole length of Brooklyn. And
Mm-hmm.
after the Williamsburg Bridge, there's like a huge hill on Bedford Avenue that goes down maybe like 15 blocks of pretty heavy downhill. And I would always try like when I was working in the city, I would ride my BMX over the bridge and then come back. And then when I was going down Bedford, I would try and manual down the whole like 15 blocks.
Yeah.
And one time I was trying to do it, and like I blew a stop sign, and there was some guy coming and he almost T-boned me, but he just nicked my back tire like while I was mid
No
manual.
way. Oh my
It was
gosh.
stupid. I shouldn't have been doing it because I also don't ride with brakes.
That's what I was gonna ask you, if you're brakeless or not.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a long
Yeah.
manual and downhill.
Yeah. So I was flying.
Sketchy.
Dude hit my wheel and bike went flying. Like luckily I went through a phase where I only wore overalls. So
Yeah.
luckily the thick denim of the overalls like saved my road rash from like my back and my butt. But I slid for like probably 2 blocks and nobody said anything. Nobody gave two shits about me. The dude who like clipped me just kept going.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Hit and run, basically. Like
yeah,
legit hit and run.
hit and run and like no witnesses. No one gave a shit.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I was okay. Yeah.
That's good. That's sketchy. Did you go? Have you gone back to try to conquer the manual?
You know what? I tried it for, I think probably I spent a good 4 years trying to do it, like every day on
Yeah.
my way home from work.
Yeah.
I could never do it entirely. But
Yeah.
it
I
was
mean,
the streets go from like south numbered streets, and then they hit like a main street, and then the streets go north, but it's numbered. So I would start at South Fifth, and then I would go try and go all the way to North 14th. So it's about 20 blocks, and I could
yeah, that's
usually
far.
only make it like maybe 10.
It's far.
Yeah,
Still far.
but I think out of my entire career of BMX, my one main thing that I can do is manual.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
That's if that was your like daily on the way home from work
Yeah.
session to do that. But yeah, manuals are incredibly fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's a wheelie, but
Yep.
it's like the cool version. You know, not
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I was gonna say that leads me into my next question. So, I'm sure you keep up with current, BMX trends.
yeah.
How do you feel about the kids I don't know if you've seen them or not. That like ride in almost like gangs on like the big 26-inch BMXs.
The wheelie bikes.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
have a super super low gear or high gear ratio, and they
Yeah.
just crank out the wheelies like through
Yep.
traffic. You
Yeah.
know, like how do you feel about that? Because I feel like they're making the wheelie look so easy when a manual is so much harder.
I well, first of all, they're two different bikes. You know, like so you have. Did you say what size is it? 26?
I,
Did you
I
say that or
I
what
think
is it?
there's two. There's like a 26-inch, and then there's like the 24-inch.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they both will
Um.
put like the fatty tires on them and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll like sometimes stand on the seat and
Yeah,
like do yeah. Yeah. All that stuff. I mean, so they're two different bikes. Like so like even they're like essentially street riding, you know, like
yeah,
it's not like mountain
yeah,
biking where they're like on a freaking mountain or something or off road, but I don't know. It's whatever, you know, like
yeah,
I'm not into it because to me it's kind of like they're like dance like doing a little footwork on the seat and stuff and then doing like
yeah.
the little swerving thing
Yeah,
in
yeah,
front
yeah.
of the
They're
bus
giving it some
and
some
stuff.
flavor,
It's
you
like
know, and it's like a mix
it's
of
like
like showy and daredevil, you know.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's like a if there's a form of writing that uh, was spawned from Instagram or TikTok, I think,
yeah,
you know, because like how it's not that exciting like the run up, and like the exciting part is like that you're missing that cab or something like,
yeah,
and I mean you could definitely get worked from it, you know, and I'm sure there's skill, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not into riding like a 26-inch bike right now, you know, like maybe I'll get there at some point in my life, but like,
yeah, yeah. I,
so
I I agree. It's like, you know, it's its own thing. I'm sure it's
yeah,
it's
I
more
mean,
of like a trend than
yeah. And
anything. And BMX has
I
had its
like,
trends, you know.
oh, absolutely. There's been, yeah, still I feel like every year the trends are getting more cycled through faster, which can be good, I guess, but uh, you know, spark interest into younger generation getting into it and stuff. But
Yeah,
I try as much as I mean, I definitely will say stuff, but like I really do try to like keep an open mind of any type of riding. Like those kids doing wheelies on fat bikes,
yeah,
they're at the end of the day they're out riding their bike,
yeah. They're
they're
having a
having
good
fun,
time.
you know, like they're probably feeling the same. You know, we all get that feeling of like getting stoked that you're doing a manual, and who doesn't love like just cruising through a city with a group of friends,
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know, like feeling like you take over the street and you're just like cruising, you know, so
yeah,
can't hate them for that. I mean, that's definitely one of the most
yeah,
easiest free feeling that you could have on a bike, I
yeah.
think.
Definitely. Yeah, and
But
I can't hate on them too much because I myself have done the same exact thing. Like my friend and I, we used to go over the Brooklyn Bridge during the most busiest like tourist time, like around
yeah.
sunset. And
Hmm.
this like walkway and bike path are on the same path. And it's like completely packed full of people and we would fly over the bridge. And again, I would try and manual the whole thing, you know, within like maybe like a foot and a half clearance on both sides of people and stuff. So
Yeah.
like yeah, I could have totally like hurt myself and tons of other people, you know, but
Yeah.
just having like a crazy good time with my friends on our bikes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird, like thinking back, trying to think of if I ever had any close calls or anything like that. Like, You know, like when you're out riding street, like when you're cruising through people, you're not even, or I'm not, like you don't even think about anything that's going around you. You know, like you have like your peripherals like
Yeah,
on
totally.
100% and
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't know. You're just like, I hate to say in the zone, but just kind of
Yeah.
focused, you know,
Yeah.
focused like,
Until somebody beeps at you, and then you're like, oh, there's cars here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, New York City is probably, it's like a different planet
Yeah. So
for
you're
that.
out in Arizona now, right?
Yeah, out in technically Scottsdale, um, you know, Phoenix area. Um, Recently moved out of the city, actually. Like I'm out in the desert, and kind of a big change. Um, but we bought a house about a year ago, my wife and I, Jennifer, and definitely feel fortunate to be out here. Um, and there's like horse ranches and stuff like next to us, so we'll like our mailbox is like a mile away down the dirt
Oh,
road. Like we
okay.
don't even. It's like, like I was leaving the house yesterday, and we're like driving almost to like the end of the the dirt road, and there's just like a hawk on the ground eating
Oh, I
a
saw that.
rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a hawk, and like we scared him, and he like the rabbit was so big, the hawk couldn't even it would fly 10 feet and then drop the rabbit, and then he would stop, and he had like move it incrementally across the road.
Yeah, and he would look
So
back
like,
at you like, "Don't touch my rabbit."
yeah, he's like, this is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But yeah, I mean, we hear stuff like hear coyotes often, like in the middle of the night, which is super cool. And
That's cool.
yeah, it's cool. It's different, like it's a little bit further away from skate park, stuff like that. But it's it's awesome. Like big backyard. We made a pump track,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I saw your
um,
video on the process of that. That was pretty cool.
yeah, it was crazy. Like we moved in the end of January. We had February, and then COVID hit,
Okay.
and luckily we got the pump track done. I hired my friend to come down. He stayed with us for a week and helped really build the pump track and everything. And that was like right before COVID got super bad in March,
Yeah.
and then it's been a weird year to like move out of the city. It really good year actually to be out of the city, I think, and
Totally.
kind of feel a little bit isolated from some like there were some riots and stuff. I mean, I feel like every big town had riots this year, but
Yeah.
but yeah, we got pump track, and I bought a satellite dish, like a 7-foot satellite dish off
Oh,
Craigslist, and put that in there, and it's pretty fun. I got more ideas and stuff.
I
It's
didn't
just,
realize that was a satellite dish in the track.
yeah,
I thought that was like a huge like water feature bird bath or something.
I wish I
But yeah,
wanted.
a satellite dish, that's so smart.
Yeah, it's cool because it's out here. It's like it's weird. Like the mentality, like out here is like the sun in the summer literally kills everything, like wood. Like you just want to make stuff out of like natural components, like dirt or rock.
Yeah.
Like so wooden ramps. Like I would love to have them, but it's just
It would just
an
fall apart.
expensive investment that the sun's going to destroy in two
Yeah.
summers. So
Yeah.
the satellite dish is fiberglass, and it's in pretty good shape, and I put a bunch of paint on it. So, but yeah, satellite dish is like natural transition, and
Yeah. That's
um,
cool.
$50 off Craigslist, and I borrowed my buddy's trailer, and we got it in the backyard. So I'm always scouring Craigslist for stuff like that
Yeah.
you can kind of turn into an obstacle to ride.
Yeah, that's great, man. So you're enjoying the new location?
Yeah, we are. It's a big. I mean, we. It's like I have like my own. I don't know. Jennifer calls it my office, but it's basically music room.
Yeah,
To
yeah, yeah.
so I can hoard more gear and everything, and have my own space for that. And we have we got solar panels that were on the house already, which we're really excited to have, and that's been really interesting and fun learning about.
Yeah, totally.
And but it's been cool. We like that was like a big bonus. We are pretty. We really, my wife and I try to reduce our carbon footprint. We enjoy finding ways to like try to be as environmentally conscious as we can,
Yeah,
and
totally.
which is always like a you always find new ways and things to kind of improve upon. But um, we enjoy being outside and try to take care of the environment as much as we can. So having solar was cool
Yeah, totally.
to
And do you
experience.
see like that the system supplies you with enough juice for your daytime stuff? Does it have a battery or no?
No, there's no
Okay.
energy storage with it. Just
Do you have net metering?
we have what's net metering again?
Net metering is when excess energy that you produce goes to the grid and they pay you for it.
Yes, we do have that available, but I don't. Our system is only 5 kilowatts,
Okay.
so
That's probably good
um,
for two of you guys.
I I think so. But like we have I don't know. We have things. I was kind of on the impression that like the system will kind of just obviously it's not going to run the air conditioner, which
Yeah.
is pretty much on nonstop for like 6 months in the summer.
Yeah. I mean, it is the
And
desert. Yeah.
yeah, so we have two refrigerators. We have one in the garage that the guy left, and previous owner of the house left. Um, Hot tub, and
Okay.
so there's some things that like are just like constantly taking power. But we do, I think, SRP, the electric company out here, I think I did remember reading like we'll get, maybe it's at the end of the year or something, where if we have credits,
Right.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's when we use them or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not really expecting to have any. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out soon. I mean, our electric bill, man, like at the worst part of summer, it's like $300.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like, and we're like pretty like we bought all LED lights,
Yeah.
so we do not own a television, which is
That's
apparently
pretty cool.
yeah. I've gone like I'm going on probably 16 or 17 years without owning a TV. Like
Wow.
I
That's
sold
awesome.
when I left LA, I sold my TV and didn't ever buy one. And then yeah, it's I can't believe like once you get used to not having a TV, it blows my mind that people find time still to like watch TV.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
insane. Like
Yeah.
how do you I mean, I get plenty of screen time between my phone and a computer, which a
Yeah.
computer is basically a television now.
Right.
So it's crazy. So,
Yeah. My friend's mom will like ask if I've watched certain shows and stuff, and I'm just like, maybe if I could find the time
yeah,
to dedicate to watching a show, I
yeah,
just can't. I just can't like sit down and do it. You know?
yeah. I mean, we have like, Amazon movie account, you know?
Yeah.
So like we'll get maybe wrapped up into some documentary series, but literally it's like 20 minutes at a time, you know, like
Yeah. But you're not.
sadly enough I spend way more time on Instagram than I ever watch a movie. You know,
Yeah.
so and I feel guilty. I would feel guilty too. Like I feel guilty just like not making time enough for music. So like I couldn't watch, there's no way I could watch a TV show and watch all the commercials that you have to go through, you know, to
Yeah.
and not thinking like, oh, I just bought a keyboard that I is way over my head that I should
Yeah.
probably be like just diving into and having fun instead of watching the 500th auto insurance commercial or something, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. But I know that's what I'm used to, you know, so it's kind of relative, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no TV. And um,
Are you into reading at all?
I'm I'm trying I'm trying
Yeah, me
to
too.
get into reading. I'm actually like, my wife makes fun of me because I have like 4 books going at once, and and I'm like not fast at any of them.
Yeah.
But I'm reading this one. It's called The Garden, and what's the guy's name? My wife's gonna. Can I walk
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
talk?
Yeah.
I got to tell you the name of this book because um, John Goodman. It's a cool book. It's basically John Gordon. It's called The Garden, and almost like a kid's book. It's weird, but it's that's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
It's a it says it's a spiritual fable about ways to overcome fear, anxiety, and stress.
All right. Sign me up.
So yeah, that's like all wife inspired. You know, my wife Jennifer's um, all about that. Here we have mannequins in our house too. If that's
Oh,
is that weird? Like a full size mannequin by the door?
no, that's great, man.
Okay.
My girlfriend is a fashion designer.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. So that's
So
not too
we
weird.
share studio space together. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
So yeah, I try to read, at least have one book going, like the last I'd say 2 years, you know. Um, but it's I admit it's like hard for me to get into them. Like
Yeah, I'm sort of the same where like I'll find some book that someone recommends and it's like the perfect thing that I should be reading and I'll start it and then I'll just, my brain thinks about like 500 things at the same time, and then
yeah,
like I still have like 4 books that I'm in the middle of reading, but I'm trying to get better at it. Um,
you're making me feel better about it because
good, good, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I was like the only one that. My wife will read books like she
Like
reads
it's
a lot
nothing.
of books. Yeah, like a lot. They're all like kind of work. They're either work related or
What does she do?
she um she works for a design agency out of Boston. Like a lot of packaging design stuff,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I'm really bad at describing what she does. She wears many hats, and
Yeah.
she's just super motivated person, and so she's always reading like enlightenment type self-improvement books and stuff, which is awesome
Okay.
because that's something she shares with me, and I feel like it's like she'll tell me about it. I'm like, wow, I'm like I could see how I could benefit from that, and then I just can't bring myself to read it. You know,
Yeah,
like
but it's like you just get her to explain more of it to you, and it's like you read the thing already.
yeah,
Yeah.
I won't tell. Don't let her
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
But um, but yeah, I've been trying. You know, like I don't know. I think like being far away from a normal person that has a regular job or life, or has led a normal, whatever you want to call what I've done, like
You've had a pretty
finding.
interesting life, man.
Well, thanks. It's kind of, it's, there's been a lot of ups and downs for sure, but I think that's anybody's life,
Oh, of
like
course, yeah.
that's what makes you grow and learn, and ultimately, I think, hopefully make better decisions so you can continue. Like, I've definitely been like passion driven over anything, for for better, for worse, like through
Yeah.
through
I
my
mean
life and stuff. So
that's a pretty incredible thing, that
it's,
you've stuck with it.
yeah, I, I've I've tried like a couple normal jobs, and they just don't work out. like not that like I have some ego and I like can't work for other people, or at least I don't. Let me know if I'm oblivious to it, but my wife has accepted me, like she's 2015 was like the last time I had like a normal job, if you say, and that was ironically is working at a skate park.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it was a strange year. Like, we moved up to Denver. Um, I was in a rut, I would say, like with sponsors and stuff, and I felt like I had this opportunity that this new skate park, basically, they had a bunch of money backing it. They wanted to be like a mini Woodward and
Oh,
have like
okay.
pros and stuff, and they wanted somebody to head up the BMX program.
Right.
So at the time, it seemed like it was a great opportunity. We moved up there, and I ended up quitting 6 months after, and it was like slowly got to the point where I was working in a pro shop at a skate park selling Snickers and Red Bulls to scooter kids.
Oh, no.
And during that time, though, luckily, lo and behold, the small percentage chance that like um, things got back on track. It was with Eastern bikes. It
Oh,
was when I
yeah.
was still riding for Eastern.
Yep.
They went through a really bad spell where they basically almost went out of business. All of their funds got frozen, so they stopped paying me, and they were just like, "We don't know what's going to happen. If you have any other opportunities, go for it."
Right.
So, so I took that job, and then the job was getting worse, and then Eastern got saved by a bigger company and reinstated pay, which I don't think I've ever told anybody this story.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
but
You could
so
censor that if you want.
well, I mean, I I left Eastern. I quit Eastern like 2 years ago, so I guess it
Yeah.
doesn't matter at this point. Um, but they got saved. They left everything. Things, they just turned the switch back on and stuff. So I was like, sweet. And the skate park, they say they wanted some an active pro and stuff, and I told them I had to take a month off or 3 weeks off because I was uh, flying to France actually to record my fourth record, and they said sure, no problem, no problem. And of course, as that time came close, it was a problem and stuff, and just stuff like that. So I just ended up quitting, and yeah, so that's my last real um, job, you want to call that, and but I've done all sorts of stuff, and it's hard, like it's definitely like not a normal way to do stuff of everything, but I'm lucky. I feel fortunate. I've met a lot of really good people through all of the ups and downs, and
Yeah.
some incredible people that really, at the end of the day, like you realize like how so many things are businesses or brands or bands or musicians or whatever, it really comes down to like friends supporting friends. That's how I feel. Like,
Yeah, totally.
you know, like you might think like some brand is like they're huge and they have, you know, they're so successful and they're so popular and stuff, and then you kind of maybe start to learn behind the scenes stuff, and it's, you realize, wow, like it's the core people that really keep some things afloat, you know, and it matters. And like everybody, you know, you can vote with your dollar, you know, like
Yeah.
supporting, kind of supporting the stuff that you care about. And I feel like I've been lucky enough to be the recipient of that, you know, like people supporting me through my writing, brands
Yeah.
supporting me through my writing and my music too, you know. So
Yeah.
feel fortunate.
Yeah. So I was gonna say you have some nutritional stuff that supports you, right?
I do.
I
I
think
have
one of them you suggested to me. It was Play Now, Play Again.
Play Again. Yeah.
Play.
You
Sorry,
know,
Play Now is from Seinfeld. Yeah,
yeah.
Play Again.
Well, technically they were Play Again Now,
Oh, okay.
I think. So you were pretty close. Pretty close. But
Yeah.
Seinfeld is really great.
Yeah.
That
But
that
that
might be
was
reason to go to Goodwill and get like a used TV one day, or just I'm sure it's on YouTube.
yeah. Well,
But
if you can't find it, I have the box set that I can give to you.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually when
Um,
I'm working on building stuff, I love to have something familiar just playing in the background. So
yeah, I've seen that
I've
on your
seen
stories.
Seinfeld over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
So I'll just let that run, and it's just like a way I judge time, you know, with like how many episodes have gone by.
that's cool. I remember you were doing that, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I think you were putting it on your story or something. But
Yeah.
pre Seinfeld, what were you? You were watching something. It was like older
Yeah,
movies.
Columbo.
Yeah, it was Columbo. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty funny when I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend and all of her family make fun of me because I'm basically like an 80-year-old guy with the things that I like, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'll sit in the back and look at my lawn like growing after like working on it for like a whole
Yeah.
weekend.
Appreciate it.
and then I'll go and like, you know, drink tea and watch Columbo. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
But what were we were talking? Oh yeah, I was
We
talking
were talking
about
about
Play
Play
Again
Again
Now.
Now and
Yeah.
health new, health companies that
Health stuff, yeah.
so you know what's a bummer about Play Again Now is they are actually a victim of, they folded under COVID.
Ah, shit.
um, but yeah, that stuff I really enjoyed and got really good benefits from that. You know, like I was taking glucosamine conjoined and MSM um, and high quality fish oil, which I still take, but I switched over to the hyaluronic acid, which is what Play Again.
Yeah.
It's what it was basically, and
Yeah, totally.
it's a great lubricant for your joint health, and also is proven to, you know, it's good for your hair and your nails, but it's also proven to improve your eyesight.
Oh, really? That's
Hyaluronic
cool.
acid, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was training for the marathon, New York City Marathon, and you know, when you start training for something like that, your body goes through some shit,
yeah,
and it's basically like, why are you doing this? We shouldn't be doing this.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I was trying lots of stuff. I was trying MSM, you know, glucosamine, all
yep,
those things, but it was just like n- no effect, you know, like my body couldn't absorb it or something. And
mm,
then I tried other forms of hyaluronic acid, you know, in like pill form and stuff, but it
yeah,
still wasn't as good as like the liquid
yep.
Play Again Now stuff, which like,
It's good to hear.
yeah, like after like running, let's say like 15 miles or something, and then like coming back and recovering and like drinking that stuff, like actually felt like physical improvements from it, which
That's
which
awesome.
was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely helped me out in my training for that.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. You got good results from it.
Yeah.
I loved it too. I still have like the last like 8 bottles or something that I'm hoarding, and
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do actually. I guess I'm just gonna find another brand that makes it in liquid form, so it's and take it, because I don't really want to stop taking it, because it's worked so well for me as well.
Yeah.
I take I also get stuff from Ancient Nutrition. Uh, they make a super wide range of all sorts of stuff, but I take they do like a really high quality fish oil, which is also good for all sorts of stuff, but joint health is one of those things.
Yeah.
But I take that as well, and um, really just anti-inflammatory diet as much as I can, just
Okay.
to, you know,
So what
that's
are some of
good.
the uh ancient supplements things that you like right now?
Ancient Nutrition stuff, probably. So they're a supporter of mine, and they make a wide range of stuff, like I said. But I
Yeah.
find myself, I always kind of just gravitate towards. I'll try some new stuff every once in a while, but I've like definitely my staples, and they make a really good. Well, first of all, their stuff is it's animal based. A lot of their protein powders are animal based. They do make a really nice plant based protein powder, but
Okay.
so you do have option with that, and but they make an animal based protein powder that is has turmeric in it,
Oh, okay, cool.
and for that one they don't do the plant based one with turmeric yet. But um, what's pretty unique about Ancient Nutrition is a lot of the stuff they do, any herbs or anything like that, it's all fermented,
Oh,
and then they blend it in to their capsules or their protein powders. So if you're not familiar with um, fermented stuff, it basically brings out the most highest concentrate and nutritional content of whatever that you're fermenting, I
right.
guess. How and why, I'm not sure, but I just know fermented stuff is more potent and better. So that's what's pretty cool about they'll do like fermented turmeric. They'll put black pepper
Oh,
in there. Your black pepper and turmeric work really well together. Um, they make a really good CBD oil that I'm pretty adamant about. I've tried a lot of different CBD oils. I've grown hemp plants myself, and I've made CBD oil at home, um, which was pretty fun. I got it lab tested, and
really?
yeah, I got it
So,
lab just because, like, I mean, it looks like weed, the plant.
yeah,
It smells like it. It looks like it. It's such a close cousin to cannabis, a hemp plant, and
yeah.
um, so like, yeah, so like I grew like I had like 5 plants, and actually what's funny is the house that we were renting at, I grew them there, and some of the seeds, they were all potted, no pun intended, but they were when we were like moving out and cleaning up the yard and stuff, the seeds must have dropped into our garden area out of the pot, and we had like there were like, no joke, like 10 little like sapling hemp plants just scattered throughout the garden with weeds.
That's so funny.
And I left a couple there just for just to pay it forward to whoever may want to take up some hemp farming in the
Yeah.
city. But
So that sounds like quite the project, right?
it was easy
Really?
to
Was it as
yeah, it
simple
was
as like you just get the seeds, plant them, take care of them?
yeah. If you can grow lettuce, you can, there's little things that you learn about the plant of overwatering or if it's dry and stuff, and I'm sure you can get like super technical and doing things to get the plant to produce the most yield, but I had good success, and I made CBD oil at home, like I said, and I got the flower tested once, and then I got the oil tested, because I was curious. I was curious of I think there's 11, maybe you know this, but there's 11 cannabinoids, and THC is one of those, CBD is one of those, and there's a bunch of CB somethings, like there's CBA, there's CBB, I believe, and they all
Okay.
have different nutritional values, and some of these are like cancer fighting properties
Oh, really?
in this stuff, and um, so it's really amazing plant, and I don't even use cannabis, um, but I'm a firm believer in the hemp plant and how useful it is for textiles, for medicinal use, for all sorts of really. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
want to grow some more plants out here and do a hempcrete quarter pipe in the backyard.
Oh, cool.
'Cause I was like pretty obsessed with learning about hempcrete for a while. And have you heard anything about
I did
hempcrete?
not know that hempcrete was a thing.
Dude, look it up. There's some houses. There's a company that will make you a hempcrete house, and they are so cool. They're
Really?
like they're like bug resistant, fire resistant.
Oh, man.
They actually absorb carbon out of the atmosphere.
Hmm.
Um, Super cool. Like it's cool. I don't want to say too much about it
I'm
because I
gonna,
kind of
yeah, I'm
I
gonna
forgot.
look
But
that up. Yeah.
and basically you just make quickcrete and chopped up hemp plants in it.
Oh,
Like that's the easy way to do it. You can,
right.
I think, concrete's like lime and I don't know, something else, sand and maybe gravel or in water. But anyway, I do
So
want to make
how did your
hempcrete.
oil test out then?
Yeah, so my oil tested out pretty horrible, actually. It was almost no CBD,
Okay.
and I had THC in it.
Oh,
It was over the legal amount that you're allowed to sell CBD oil at, which I think is 0.4% of THC or something.
okay.
Like you're not going to, it's like nothing, like you're not
Yeah.
even going to get high or anything off it. But
Yeah.
um,
I read somewhere once that for like full benefits of the CBD oil, it needs to have some THC in it.
yeah. And well, for the full benefits, and that would be considered full spectrum. So you're right. That THC helps um, kind of in a synergistic way
Yeah.
to uh, it enhances the THC will almost, I don't know if it's like a vehicle through your system of the CBD. It helps distribute everything, but they definitely work better together.
Yeah.
And you basically have full spectrum, broad spectrum, and then isolate.
Okay.
So, um, but I absolutely recommend full spectrum 100% because that THC does help a lot. And Ancient Nutrition's CBD oil is 100% organic, which is important because the hemp plant actually absorbs a lot of whatever in the soil. The hemp plant is that's gonna be, it's really absorbent plant.
Okay.
So if you have um, chemicals, that are that you're spraying the plant with or on the ground, that plant is going to absorb all of that more so than just a normal crop. So
Right.
100% organic is super important, and full spectrum. And they have a fermented cinnamon flavor, which is also, cinnamon is anti-inflammatory as well, and it's super good. And I've had by far the best results from the Ancient Nutrition, that full spectrum one. So I went. It was cool, like growing those plants though. Like I learned a lot. And side note, my family actually planted 2 summers ago, experiment. They got their farmers uh, legal license to grow hemp, and they planted 3 acres.
Whoa.
And I helped. Yeah, it was a lot.
Where was that?
In Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a big learning process. I wasn't as much part of it as my dad and my brother, just because I was out here. But I flew to Virginia and helped plant all the little plants in the ground by hand, one at a time.
I think you posted some pictures of that or some
Yeah,
stories or something, right?
I
Yeah.
did. I did.
Yeah.
So it's cool learning about that plant, and
It is, yeah.
yeah. So
When I was
yeah.
yeah, when I was touring a lot in the States, playing drums, I get a lot of like tendonitis and inflammation in my wrists and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were in Denver one day, and Denver has, recreational dispensaries.
Yep.
And I talked to them about like, my issues with my tendonitis and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, well, because I don't do the weed.
Don't do the weed.
It freaks out my brain. I just get really scared, and it's not a fun experience.
Yeah.
But I was talking to them, and I was like, "Listen, I don't want to get high, but I want to try something that will help with my inflammation." And they were like, "Oh, well, we have these like topical patches. You just put it on the areas, and it's just a good blend of CBD with other stuff in it too."
Mm-hmm.
And I shit you not, it was like I never had a problem at all. Like because I played a show later that day with the patches on, and it was like I could just go forever. It was
That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
like maybe that was just because I had like tried it, and it was a larger amount, and like maybe over time I would get used to it or something. But like that day right there, it just like helped completely. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, CBD doesn't work like that. You don't build up a tolerance. Like
Okay.
once your body processes it, it's like out of your system. And at least that's what I was told by several different people on the subject. So it's not like drinking or something, where you can like build up a tolerance or something or.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you got such good results from it. I mean, man, I have the topical stuff too, and it really helps me sleep good.
Okay.
It doesn't help me get to sleep, not like NyQuil or something like that, but it helps me stay asleep.
Right. So you're not waking up with like some weird pains or whatever.
Yeah, or just I woke up last night and just thinking about stuff, and I couldn't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like it's just everybody goes through that, I guess, at some point. It's just you're annoyed that you can't go to sleep, and
Right.
so, but it does help me stay asleep. And then CBD is again huge anti-inflammatory in itself.
Yeah.
Which for me is like important. Like I broke my left elbow like in 2005, I think. And I think I probably should have gotten surgery on it. I didn't. And so I get this it like wants to lock up, and then I have to like straighten it out, and then I get a good pop. And it's like not a good feeling pop.
Oh man.
And it happens to be my it's my left hand, so it's what I fret with when I play and everything. Right. And so I'm just like, it doesn't bug me. I play sitting down pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would be better if I was standing up or something, but so I'm just like conscious, and then like BMX injuries beyond that, and just riding and stuff. I'm just real conscious on anti-inflammatory everything, and
yeah,
as much as I can. And so I just CBD. Try not to take Tylenol or anything of that stuff. I get migraines, and I will take Tylenol for that sometimes, but they just passed actually legal recreational weed in Arizona.
That's funny. I was going to say this past election, the same thing happened for New Jersey, where I am
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know like how long it takes or whatever, like for weed shops to be popping up left and right. I'm sure I'll notice when I'm sure you'll see them,
Yeah.
everywhere when it does. Um, but yeah, I just don't for migraines and stuff. The CBD hasn't helped me really for that, but um, I don't know. Maybe I'll walk into a shop once they open up and see if there's any options,
Yeah.
for migraine stuff, because I heard people do take it for that. But
Yeah. So would you grow your own CBD again, or would you just go to a dispensary?
no, I think I would. I want to try it again. I want to try it again. It's crazy. Like all it is infused oil. Like I used coconut oil,
Yeah.
and you put it in a crock pot. You decarbonate, you decarbonate it in the oven first. It has to hit a certain temperature that it releases. I think it actually activates the THC.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna be listening to this and be like, "That guy doesn't know what he's talking about, idiot." But basically, you decarb it in the oven. I think I burned my first batch, and that's why the first batch came out pretty. Like literally, it was like oregano. Like if I would put it in like a sandwich bag, it'd be like the classic like roach weed,
Fake weed.
like
Yeah.
the crappiest like roach weed.
Yeah.
But and then I put it in a crock pot with coconut oil, and I just let it simmer for like, I don't know. I think it was all day or something, and you just infuse that coconut oil and then you strain it. And then that coconut oil is your CBD oil, really.
Yeah.
So at least that's what I did. And then again, I didn't get good results, but I think it was there. It's just, I think I either burned my flower when I decarbed it, or my flower just wasn't good to begin with but it was fun. It's like it's kind of like you looking at your lawn,
Yeah.
after working in the yard. It's just like, it's weird. It's like, we had it mixed in with the lettuce, the carrots, the radishes, in our garden and stuff. And we just looked at it as like another thing
plant
that you can grow to enhance your life. We actually ate the leaves. The leaves on it look like they're cannabis leaves, basically look the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we coated them with coconut oil and put a little nutritional yeast on them.
Oh, there you
and
go.
Bake them in the oven. No, we really did this. Like, are you vegetarian currently?
No, but I've been through so much of the earthy, crunchy stuff. I'm pretty aware of all of it. Yeah.
So we make kale chips all the time at home, and my buddy told me that you can make hemp chips.
Oh, cool.
The same way. So we tried that, and they were good. They're like, compared to a kale leaf, they're like paper thin.
Right.
So you have to eat like a bazillion of them to even be halfway full. But
right.
So we made hemp chips out of those. So we just looked at it as like growing another food source in our garden.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, last year when I moved to this house, the lawn was absolutely terrible. Like, hadn't been taken care of for probably like 20 years. And all the neighbors around me have like the most pristine manicured lawns and stuff. So this spring when there was not much to do because of the thing, I was like, that's it. I'm going to figure out how to make this lawn like absolutely unbelievably like perfect. And I went down like a huge rabbit hole of YouTube and stuff, and like, just reading articles published by like colleges and stuff on like turf, chemistry and like growth and stuff. And long story short, my lawn is like perfect right now. Absolutely perfect. It looks like you could play golf on it. It's awesome.
In the winter?
Yeah, right now. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so today we're expecting like almost a foot of snow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys.
And yeah, my lawn is like perfect golf course green right now.
Do you think it's gonna?
Yeah.
Is this like the best it's ever been? Then.
Yes, this is the best that this lawn has ever been. And that involved a
Okay.
lot of like soil treatment with like, managing the pH and stuff. And
Yep.
like all the fertilizers I used this year were all organic and like a lot of it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Cool.
seaweed based.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have Have you heard of this stuff called Mycos?
No.
It's like it's for your soil, and we use this on the hemp plants, and you can use it for the garden as well. But it basically creates um,
Like like
what's the mushroom? Like mushroom? Is it
my
mycelium?
yeah. Yeah, I
It
used a
kind of
similar
creates.
a similar product in the lawn, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then it
Yeah. It's
just it
pretty.
just
It's
creates
awesome.
like organic matter that breaks down and like goes back into the soil.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're the granola that you guys do?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Biker.
should talk. I'm horrible at that. I should talk about that.
So the brand is
The Biker and Baker.
the Biker and Baker, and is that you and your wife?
Yep.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's
It
very
is.
cute.
It's yeah, real cute. It's basically I'm the biker and the baker now.
Okay. Okay.
She's super saturated with her job, and
Yeah, yeah.
but it's her recipes and everything, and she had been making that granola for me like 7 years ago,
Okay.
forever ago, and like literally, it's the old story that you hear like, oh, I started making this, and then my family started asking for it, and then like her coworkers were like offering to like pay her to make it and stuff, and
Yeah.
and then and then we I don't know, somebody, then you hear people say, oh, you could sell this stuff, you should sell this stuff and
Yeah.
everything, and sadly, not sadly, but like, because I still think about it, but I came to a point where I was like, all right, I have like X amount of free time or whatever, or I decided I wanted like, I thought about like totally diving into the YouTube world
Yeah.
and trying to do, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Hey, check me out. I'm
Yeah.
more exciting than the other million other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I really struggled with trying to be okay with like committing to that. Not because of like goofy personality. I was just being goofy. But like, I don't know. There was just something about it where I just had a hard time like committing to it, and I knew to do it successful, you pretty much have to fully commit to it and
Yeah,
everything.
it has to become like a huge part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of, to me, like, I don't know. I was like, either okay, I can I can go the YouTube route. Like, there aren't any real like older BMXer guys doing a full on YouTube channel, and I thought maybe people think that was interesting, or maybe there's a reason why there's no older YouTuber BMX guys.
Yeah.
Or so. But I did think about that. I thought it'd be fun because I was like, like going on these empty pool missions with a couple friends, and like at the end of the day, like crazy like funny stuff would happen. I'm just like, man, if we were just filming that, like that would
Right.
actually legitimately
Right.
be a pretty interesting day to watch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so anyway, I thought about that, and then I thought about starting a granola company, and and I looked at like what was going to have, for the first time I think ever, I looked at like what's going to have a longer life to be able to do, and and what I might get sick of doing, or like, I've had some people describe the YouTube life as like you're building your own jail cell.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Definitely.
maybe you can, at least from the BMX bike world perspective, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, so So and there aren't many, there's like it's you hear of older pros like launching their own brands and everything in BMX and mountain biking too, and kind of taking that on as a brand that they can rep and do things with. But you don't hear, there aren't many people that I've found that it's like a food item.
Yeah.
And and just with like being health conscious and trying to really preserve um, my personal health and the injuries I've overcome and stuff, I thought like doing a health conscious, focused, high calorie, easy to travel with type of food would be kind of different and interesting, So decided to go Baker and Baker,
Yeah.
and it's
Totally.
all organic as well, and gluten free oats too. And we do use honey in ours, but it's local Arizona raw honey, and which Arizona honey is. I learned we went and actually visited our honey supplier before we kind of decided to commit to him,
Oh, sweet.
and and yeah, it was a cool experience.
A
Learned a
fun
lot.
fun fact about me is my family has like 5 generations of beekeepers in it.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
I'm preaching to the choir here. You know all about honey, probably.
I know some.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten like my beekeeper like official license or anything, but I plan
Okay.
to in the future now that I live
Cool.
in a like house where I could actually have bees. But
Awesome.
yeah, my dad has like 3 hives right now. I think last year he got, I think like maybe 15 gallons of honey.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah, I've grown up like super into bees and honey. So I'm a big supporter.
Rad.
Yeah.
We're so my question. My wife and I always joke about this because, and I think it's true. We're like old school on this way, but like because we have a lot of vegans that ask us if our granola is vegan friendly,
Right.
and our answer is no. We use honey.
Right.
And dude, I kid you not, 99% of the people of these vegans are saying, "Oh no, that's okay. I eat honey."
Yeah.
So like, when you did you eat honey?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it was all honey that I would get from like my parents or my uncle or something.
Yeah.
And I like knew for sure that it was like legit good honey coming
Yeah.
from like happy bees, you know?
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Because like keeping bees happy is hard, you know? A lot can go
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Um. Uh. The stress, moving them around, I guess, is super stressful.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if you rent the hives out to pollinate and all that stuff, and um, I don't know. You know more than
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, there's other things too where like randomly the queen could just be like, you know what? I don't like it here. Let's leave. And then you have a swarm of like thousands and thousands and thousands of bees that just leave your hive for pretty much no reason,
Wow.
you know? And then a lot of times what they'll do is they'll go up into a tree and like latch onto a limb or something.
Yeah.
And then you have to like literally try and go up there with your hive underneath it and like try and shake them back into your hive.
I've seen videos of that.
Yeah.
That's dude, that's scary. That's
Yeah.
that's
And then
like
I mean, you could just lose all your bees for no real reason.
yeah. There's I mean there's beekeepers out here. I've heard that they will they'll come and rescue your bees. Uh the bees out here
Yeah.
will, especially out where we live now, kind of on the desert, like in the spring. This past April, I was in the yard working on the track, and there were two different times I had headphones in. And I did not wear headphones anymore after this. But, dude, a whole swarm, I mean, like a tornado, just cruised through our backyard. They were like
Oh wow.
looking. I guess for a new
Yeah,
place to
probably
live or whatever,
new
but
place to live.
it
Yeah,
was for sure like a whole hive. I
it
mean,
was probably really loud too, right?
once I stopped my music, yeah, I could
Yeah,
hear it, and I got sketched.
yeah,
I'm like, this scary.
yeah. It's like horror movie stuff.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
So that happened to me twice, but yeah, bees are really important. They're really
Oh yeah,
important.
absolutely. Yep.
Really
And
important.
I feel like the degradation of bees in the past like 50 years, I think, is definitely 100% due to like GMO, insecticide stuff,
Yeah,
which is sad.
it's sad, and as far as I know, like nobody really knows exactly, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
I think it's gone so far off from like the GMO thing. Let's say like soybeans or something. We've had so many iterations of modified soybeans now that like I don't think we'll ever be able to go back to like the organic soybean, you know? And then
yeah,
in that transition there's been like a loss of like what have we actually done, you know? Like how bad have we messed this thing up? I don't know, that's how I feel.
it's I personally try to stay away from soy,
Yeah, me
um,
too.
because it's even organic soy. I feel like there's there's better options. I think to
Yeah.
usually, but I didn't know until we started Biker and Baker, and like started looking at honey and stuff. I don't think I ever realized like a bee's lifespan was only like 25 days or a month or something.
Yeah.
Like that's correct, isn't it?
I
Like
think it's something
it's like
like that, yeah.
3 or 4 weeks, right? Like
Yeah.
super like a worker bee or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's like I don't know, but yeah. So Biker and Baker also learned that the Arizona honey is different and pretty unique because of the lower moisture content in all the flowers
Oh, really?
out here. Yeah, the it tastes pretty unique, and
Hmm.
we've tried our recipe for our granola using other honeys like clover honey. Pretty typical honey. We were in Cleveland visiting my in-laws, and we made it. Same recipe, same everything, different honey, and
Yeah.
it came out different. It tastes different.
Yeah, totally.
So, um, but yeah, that was my choice. It was either gonna try to dive into YouTube or start a granola company,
Yeah.
and
I think that's
you know,
great, man. I mean, I think that you made a good decision.
thanks.
Cuz I don't know. I feel like YouTube, I mean, I'm also trying to be part of YouTube, but it really is just such a strain, you know? Like you really
Yeah,
have to like it becomes a job, you know?
totally.
Um and I don't think at the end of the day it might not be as like rewarding as like having a physical like food thing, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's still like I'm still putting out. I still have a YouTube channel. I'm still putting out
Yeah, yeah,
edits and
totally.
stuff, and I'll throw it on there.
Yeah,
But it's not like my main. It's not a focus. It's just a platform
right.
to do some
Yeah,
stuff.
you're doing it more for like fun sharing of like
Yeah,
cool stuff that you
yeah.
do.
Just still be in the mix, but like not try to
Yeah, you're not like trying
meet
really.
their demands of so it can
Yeah,
be monetized and all that stuff. And
yeah,
it's just a world that it's cool, but like I don't know. Like I like geeking out on camera. It would still involve like cool stuff. Like I like geeking out on cameras and filming and a little bit
yeah,
editing and of course putting music to visuals and all that stuff that everything you do on YouTube. But also I love food. I like cooking. You
Yeah.
know, like my cooking for me was like growing up struggling, being like trying to be pro BMXer and like living off of like as cheap as food as possible, but like still like trying to eat good and have tasty meals and stuff. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
learned I learned how to, I guess, be creative in the kitchen and stuff, and I could just carry that through. It just became part of me where you kind of enjoy cooking,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
eating out, just enjoying good food and stuff. And my wife's the same way for different reasons, and um, so it was like something we both could also do, with Biker and Baker. She she actually has she went to just for fun, and um, she took online classes and got a um, I'm gonna mess this up probably, but she got her certificate of something. I forget. Sorry,
All
Jennifer.
right.
Um, but it was like I think it was like a 2-year course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holistic certificate of holistic nutrition. I think it
Oh,
is.
okay. Cool. Cool.
And
Yeah.
so she really is like a huge inspiration for me, and like people reach out to me on Instagram asking me questions, and I'm just like I just tell them, I'm like, I just kind of latch on to other people that like you can relate to, and to learn about, if you have health problems, and whether you're on tour and you're playing drums a bunch, or if you're
Yeah.
had a bad injury and you don't want to give up riding BMX or whatever, but so, and I'm lucky that that person to me was Jennifer, my wife, and
Yeah.
she has passion for that and stuff. So um, she helps guide me with all that stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, it's her recipes on the Biker and Baker. We just have 2 flavors, but
Yep.
we
I've tried them both. They are both really good.
yeah, thank you. They're
Yeah.
they're good. There's honey in there, a little bit of coconut sugar, but
Yep.
it's the lesser of evil for sweeteners.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of like, snacks like that, granola,
Yeah,
as opposed to like the potato chip, let's say,
yeah,
you know. I go more for the granola.
yeah,
But again, I'm like an 80-year-old man, so
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you should be. Well, overalls. You said you already went through that phase.
yeah, overall, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess what's next for me is like prune juice or something,
Oh
right?
yeah. Definitely prune juice, and
Prune juice,
yeah,
hearing aid, maybe, thicker glasses.
yeah, thicker glasses.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's do you guys have a website
Well,
or is it just Instagram for Biker and Baker?
yeah, thebikerandbaker.com. You can order straight from the website. And I spent way too much time on Instagram linking up
Oh
that you
my
can
God,
shop on Instagram now
the
too.
process takes
It's
forever because you have to
it's
link up the Facebook to it. Oh my God.
dude. Okay, I'm so glad to hear you say that, because
Yeah.
I was like, what? Are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can shop on Instagram. I don't know if I guess that's going to be a thing, and but you
Yeah.
can
That's the
uh,
future.
for our granola, and then the bikerandbaker.com as well. And we're small, we're super small. It's a legit small batch thing, and but it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I can
Pretty.
relate to being small batch, small thing.
Yeah, you can.
That's me.
You can, but you know what? You make a lot of different pedals though, and like,
Well, I did. I took a break from having like a ton of different ones to just having like one, pretty much.
is that the cloudy one?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
because Cloudy is basically like a computer, and it has a bazillion parts inside, and it
Okay.
takes a lot of time to make and also to just like develop new stuff for it takes forever. So I
I
had to
have
just focus on one thing.
okay. I have like so many questions for you, pedal questions and stuff, but I don't know if it's probably redundant and maybe for another time. But so you're not doing. I haven't been to your. I go to your website periodically though, just to see what's going on
Yeah.
um, and what's on there. But so this is a real question if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
But the cloudy, it's a it's a time. It's a is it a delay? It's a delay,
Yeah,
right?
it's a bunch of stuff. It
Okay.
has basically it has
Time
six
modulation or
yeah,
something?
it has six different modes in it. Okay?
Okay.
So it's like six different pedals in one. Most of the modes are based around like delay and like taking the delay and chopping it up into like tiny pieces and then like
Okay.
kind of modulating those pieces. And then there's other modes on it too, like crazy weird filters and like reverbs and stuff.
Okay.
So
Do
it's
you have a freeze option too in there somewhere?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay. I
there's a
thought I
thing where
remember.
you can freeze like a little buffer of time
Yep.
and it does different stuff for every mode. But yeah, it's got a ton of shit in it.
Okay. I'm looking at my board right now. Is it man, I bought a used Memory Boy from this dude off Craigslist and 5 years ago and
That's a good one, man.
it's so saturated in like just drippy and just analog that I can't not use it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Totally.
I mean, I know everybody has gone. It's been on everybody's arsenal at some point, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
and I went through. I also have one of those Red Panda particle ones,
Yeah, yeah, that's a great
which
one.
I've had that. My buddy loaned it to me and then moved to like Malaysia or something. And I grew up riding BMX with him, and we actually used to make music way back, like early start music for me, like ambient type stuff. And he was a
Yeah, yeah.
keyboardist, and I think he was running his keyboard through it or something. But I didn't know what that thing was for a long time. But anyway, I just brought. I'm looking at my board, but um,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
because I went through a big.
Cloudy has some similar stuff to Particle.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. It
Yeah.
would probably. Is yours is the cloudy then is it digital or analog?
Oh yeah, full digital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what the particle pedal, the Red Panda one is too, and then of
Yeah.
course the Memory Boy is analog. So I
Yep.
have a little bit of mix, but um, I'm not getting. I'm just if it's fun, I'll like to play through it, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, totally.
um, so the cloudy though is all. Am I saying that right? Time modulation. It's all just time stuff. There's no like. Well, you said there's reverb in there.
Yeah, there's reverb.
Okay.
There's different modes. Like there's the main like default mode is whatchamacallit. It's granular delay. So
Okay.
it
Okay.
takes the delay signal, chops it up however you want, and filters it and all these cool things.
Yep.
And then it has like a basic delay function, but if you hit the freeze button, you can
Mm-hmm.
keep looping the delay.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a looper, and then you can change like the length of time that you get in the loop, so you can make it like super long, like 10 seconds or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask like
Yeah,
milliseconds or I don't know
yeah,
the length on that.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's one of those things where I forget how much different stuff you can do with it until I'm like I have the batch made and I'm like testing them, and then I
Mm-hmm.
realize that I've been testing one for like an hour or something just because I've been playing with it. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of like weird little holes to dive into.
I love watching all of your like when you do the test stuff and just all of it because
Uh,
like I said I'm still pretty new to pedals
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything so um I've chilled out on them. Even I mean, I still have probably a few I could sell that I don't use, but uh, I don't know. I don't ever see myself like going back. Like now, I'm like have to. I feel like at least have five lined up, and then I think they're in the right order. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
there is no right or wrong when it
all
comes to
right.
that. There's so many people out there that'll be like, oh, you have to have this first, and you can't have that after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
I've watched the YouTube videos.
but
They're crazy.
it's all whatever sounds coolest,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
And it's cool though that they do sound a little different
Oh
though
yeah,
on your order of stuff,
yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Like if you take like the your fuzz and you put it at the end, like after all of like the weird delay stuff, you can get
Yeah.
some like really weird sounds.
So I have my bender. I have. I'm going into my. I have a strobe tuner, and then I shouldn't say I hate to admit this, but I have the crappiest Fender drive pedal. That's the most generic. But man, I
No,
freaking love it,
that's good, man.
dude. No, I'm. It's like sometimes I'll use it with the bender, and it's like a little bit too much. But depending on like what pickups, it sounds actually pretty good. But sometimes it's just dirty enough also. But it's in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like it. It
that's good,
hasn't
man.
left, and I don't turn the knobs. I have one spot, and that's only good for that one spot. So anyway, so that, and then the bender, and then I have a uh, like a Fender. It's like a fake. They call it the pinwheel. It's supposed to be like a fake Leslie kind
Oh,
of
right,
effect.
yeah, yeah.
Super subtle. I haven't really found the sweet spot on it yet for me. And then that into a memory boy into my looper.
Oh, sweet. And which
So you're
looper do you
saying
have?
I bought the new. So like I was like on the Boss RC whatever, like the two pedal one that they had forever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just sold that actually on Craigslist like a month ago, and I bought the new one. It's the RC10R that has. I basically just switched it out. It has more memory, but it has a lot of drum loops and stuff in it.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah, yeah.
So it's a lot different, and it's kind of finicky with the drum loops. Like, if you're gonna play with the drum loops, you have to like, I don't know. You can
Do you have,
slow
do you have
down the
to
loops.
do you have to work with their timing? Is that it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. It's cool. It's got tons of memory. That's what I wanted, and it has a lot of different drum loops. And I was my other pedal was like constantly full, so I was
Yeah.
always like kind of deleting stuff that I didn't want to delete, to make room. So it's just like a perfect for me. It's a perfect notebook for ideas and everything
Totally.
that I can work with.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I can I just say that bender that I have, the TOMKAT bender. I
Yeah.
have this. I have this. I don't want to say crappy because I freaking love it now, but it's an old Silvertone. I traded an Eastern Bikes stem for it, but it's like a Silvertone that's supposed to basically mock like a 335 Gibson,
Yeah, yeah.
but it has microphone pickups on it, and it's got like the fake Bigsby on it,
Oh,
which
cool.
I actually works really nice. And I mean, it stays in tune for like a half hour, and then it's out of tune, because it's
Yeah.
the tuning pegs and headstock are all wonky. But it's like an original, like it's like late '60s, and but the microphone pickups on it are like awesome. And for whatever reason, when I plug it in through all those pedals that I just said, through that bender, man, it sounds pretty awesome.
Oh man, that's
It It sounds
I
pretty
wanna hear
awesome.
it.
But I have like I have like some P90 pickups on a 57 Gibson. I don't think that sounds good as that.
Oh,
I have
sweet.
like some, uh, I don't know. Anyway, some cool stuff, but I've really
Yeah.
been enjoying that pedal. It definitely, I stopped searching for my
I'm so psyched, man, that
germanium
it
fuzz.
made its
Yeah.
way
So
to you, and that's how, we kind of met. So
no, totally.
it's
That's
awesome.
exactly how we met.
Yeah.
I was like, I bought that. Who? Oh,
Yeah.
Maliko makes that germanium, the Ass Master, Bass
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Master.
yeah, yeah. The pink one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I I bought that off Reverb and it came broke,
Oh,
and I returned it, and the dude was cool. He refunded me, but I was just like over trying to search like the whole perfect pedal thing after that, and then
yeah.
gave it a break, and then somehow I don't know, we met through
Yeah.
the gram.
Yeah. Through the world of BMX and music.
Yeah, and BMX. I think I reached out to you because I was like like I said earlier in this conversation, I was just like so stoked to like find another dude, a musician that was BMXer, and then I learned that you were like making pedals by hand and stuff. I'm like, what? Who is this guy? He's awesome.
Yeah, I
He's
think
mad scientist. Like that's
when
awesome. No, seriously, I was like really.
when
I
I
was
saw
like,
that you
this is
reached out
sick.
to me, I was literally like, "Oh my God, this is a famous BMXer, Adam from Odyssey's Electronical, talking to me, like me,
Mm.
and I can't even do like a tail whip."
Yeah, but you understand how to make pedals, and you understand how to make good ones. Let me show you what I have here. So I have a mini Sonic Youth
Oh,
shirt, and then
sweet.
Tomcat
Oh.
patch. that's on my board with like well, I tried soundproofing my room, which I think I failed pretty bad at it, but
You
I
tried though.
have I yeah, I put the Tomcat patch next to Sonic Youth was like I want to say probably the most influential band that I've experienced in my life.
Yeah,
So
totally. I mean, I just mentioned Electronical. I think you used one of their songs in
yep,
your part in that.
I
Yeah.
did. Sorry, they didn't get paid for that, but uh, sorry, Thurston. They might take it down. I don't even know if is that section on YouTube. I wonder.
It is.
If it is, it's
It
probably.
is.
I wonder if that song got blocked.
No, it's got credit for it and everything in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I was really honestly like that was a pretty big like every video part like I ever filmed. Music was a big part of it. Obviously, being a
Yeah.
musician and I didn't want to I didn't want to be the dude that was like, oh, I'm only going to use my music for my video parts and stuff.
Right.
Like that was always like an extension and creation of another way to be. I thought, but like I didn't want to just. Sometimes like I would be done with the video part and I just didn't have a good song or didn't want to use one of my songs. So me using Sonic Youth was like, it was like, honestly, like it was like the finish line for me. I was like, yes, I finally get to use like my favorite band and
Yeah.
like a video part that like I worked hard for and like, well, you know, I felt like was worthy. Like Electronical was worthy like of me using Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
That was a pretty big production. That video.
Yeah, it was. It was the team was, there were a good handful of dudes on the team scattered all over the country and really just two filmers for it and a lot of traveling, a lot of trips planned. Um, yeah.
Who had the part that was like in an old school?
Taj.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, Taj. Those people live in that school. They're friends of his, and they
Oh.
bought they're like, it's Midwest somewhere. They bought an old school and they live in it. And Taj basically built ramps, and
Yeah.
pretty cool idea. Pretty
Yeah.
cool idea.
That was pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty amazing. It's
Well,
awesome.
thanks so much, Adam.
Yeah.
We'll
My pleasure.
have you on again, and your Instagram is just Adam Banton, right?
Yep. Adam
All right.
Banton, Banton. And
Awesome, dude. Thanks so much, dude. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I have to go get ready for a huge snowstorm that's coming.
Okay. All right. Cover that lawn.
Yeah, right?
Cool.
Awesome, man.
Thanks a lot, Tom. It was awesome, man.
Thanks so much, man.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Be in touch.